Hello. I love listening to the frogs and insects all around me in the summertime. I feel like I need to actually sit and listen to it sometimes, or walk and listen to it, because maybe they're communicating with my deep lizard brain and my deep ancestors somewhere within me. What are they telling me today? Yesterday I ran into 3 cats at 3 different times. Well, actually 2, right, one after another. Those 2 had their backs turned to me. I'm like, if only I knew more about divination of animal behavior. I try to pay attention to those things though, because I figure even if I don't know in my conscious brain, my subconscious might be getting something from it. And I'm so glad that I actually want to pay attention to those things now, because it makes me feel better, you know? Even if that doesn't actually mean anything, it makes me feel better, and that's important, because I need that. We all have stressful lives, right? We got to find some way to cope and relieve the stress. Anyway, I wanted to just follow up on my video from last week about ancestors, and how there's a lot that we don't know. In case you didn't hear my last video, there's a lot that we don't know about our ancestors, and there's a lot about our ancestors that we might not like if we did know. There's a lot we already know about a lot of our ancestors, especially the ones that are less distant, most of which are Christian, if you're like me. But even the pre-Christian ancestors, we only know so much, and if we actually met them, we might not find them as charming as we hope. But we don't know. It's something we have to dig in and try to figure out for ourselves somehow. And the search is half the fun. But what I forgot to say last week is that even if it turned out that we have no good ancestors, I mean, all of them would have good points. I've taught my children, and they repeat to each other sometimes, that everybody has some good and some bad. I believe that. And I think that even if it turned out all our ancestors were terrible, we'd still have something to learn from them. Maybe even some good things, not just bad things. But the point that I meant to end up on last time is that even if there weren't anything good to take from them, we still have an opportunity, always, to be the ancestor, to become the ancestor that we want to be for our descendants. To be that highest self. To begin now. To become that person that we want our sons and daughters, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren to hear about, to read about, and realize they have someone they can model their life after. It all begins with you. That's been a heck of a realization for me, especially, as I came out of Christianity and as I started learning about what my pre-Christian ancestors did. I started learning about meditation and witchcraft and peaceful parenting. Oh my gosh, that's huge. I talked about that in a recent video. These are things that I didn't get from many of my ancestors that I have met. Who knows, maybe some of it came from my distant ancestors. Probably my anti-authoritarian attitude might have come from a distant ancestor. I know I had at least one that fought in the Civil War, probably several. I have one that was on the Union side that we found out quite a bit about recently, and it's another one of those cases where, everything that was written down about him sounds super cool, but if I met him, he might be really terrible. At least he was on the Union side and the anti-slavery side. So if there was anything bad about him, I don't know what it was. And I may never know. So I made my point. Let me see if I can restate it in a way that might be more interesting. I don't know. When I think about my relationship with my kids, the kids that I have now, they're still pretty small, 7, and 4. I want to be a dad that they can come to when they're kids, when they're teenagers, when they're adults, and know that they are talking to a safe person, no matter what they want to talk about. I don't really have that with my parents or my friends' parents or anyone from that generation. I heard someone complaining about ageism recently, and I've been very, very guilty of ageism because I just think baby boomers suck. But that is a generalization. I've always known that's a generalization, and it's unfair because there must be some baby boomers out there who don't suck so much. Like maybe some of the musicians I grew up listening to. You know, there've got to be some decent people who just happen to be baby boomers. So I'm going to try not to be that way anymore. Not to overgeneralize even about baby boomers. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. I do that like every video, don't I? I want to be, I want to be someone for my kids that I didn't have myself. I want to be a grandparent that my grandkids will be excited to hang out with. Not because I'm fun and super cool, because sometimes I'm not. I'm kind of boring. I'm kind of introverted. I don't talk a lot. I don't really like talking. So I'm not that, I don't know if I'm fun to be around. Some people seem to think I am, and others could care less about me, and that's fine. So I don't want them to, I want my grandchildren, especially when they're adults, I want them to seek my company, not because I'm super fun and cool, but because I'm one of the best people they know. Actually, I just now thought about that. I'm thinking this through as I say it. But yeah, if I start now, while my children are still very young, then maybe by the time my grandchildren are adults, I will be one of the best people they know. It means I can't be stagnant. I can't keep being what I am now. I can't keep doing the same old thing because I'm not the best person I know. I'm not one of the best people I know. I've got a long way to go. I've made strides. Therapy helped a lot. Study helped. Critical thinking about the world around me, like baby boomers, and realizing that there is no group on earth that you should overgeneralize about. So if I start now, I can be that person, and then those grandchildren will tell their children. I will be remembered. I will live on. I will become immortal. Maybe someone will even write something down about me. Maybe by that time, Facebook profile pages will be like tombstones, because all the original Facebook users will be dead. Like Facebook's gonna last that long. Who knows? So that's it, I guess. Start today to become that ancestor that all your descendants will talk about and remember. I think, here's another point, I think that it's very possible that many of the deities that we talk about today were based on actual humans who were so talented and such wonderful, virtuous people, some of them, like some of the Irish deities, that they became immortalized in the stories about them and became deities. Maybe. Others may have been immortalized for how awful they were. And there's some of the darker deities. there's no telling. I mean, yeah, people might end up destroying this earth. But if they don't, if this earth is somehow able to bounce back, and there are still people remaining, we could eventually become immortalized ourselves. Especially if there's some kind of post-apocalyptic world coming after some terrible apocalyptic event. Some of us may be remembered. And the stories about us may become legendary. Let's start today to make the legend that we want our descendants to tell about us. All right? Go for it, my people. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.